regardless of how old you are, but particularly if you're old like I am, have you become a rusty old 2-cylinder lawnmower machine, or are you a high-performance V12 race car jet engine? And isn't it interesting that we get a choice for that? But here's a great question. If you were a V8, V12 high-performance car and you wanted to win a race, would you take out half of your cylinders? So instead of running on 8 cylinders, let's run on 4. Instead of running on 12 cylinders, let's run on 6. And I reckon the answer is no. We want to go as fast as we possibly can so that we can win the race. Well, I think that life is far more important than car racing. I love car racing. But my human body has to be a high-performance machine. How about yours? So if we want to perform at our best, why would we ever take out the biggest part of our engine? And in the human body, our engine or the engine of the body are the muscles. So if I do anything where I take out half of my muscles, which literally means I sit on my ass, or I kneel, or I lie down, I'm taking out the biggest muscles in my body, which are in my legs. So my big glute muscles, my quads, my hamstrings, my calves, they're big, powerful muscles. And if you're not using them, you're taking out, if you're a V12, you want to be a V12 high-performance machine, you are now a six-cylinder, or worse, a 4-cylinder if you're doing light weights. So it's a really important question, because I don't want to get old, I don't want to get weak, I don't want to get fat, I don't want to get frail, I don't want to get diseases, and all of that happens when you don't use your muscles. But not just your muscles, because when you walk around, everything you do, blink your eyes, lift up a spoon to eat your food, lie down in your bed, everything we do uses muscle. But unless you overload that muscle for it to get stronger and force it to stay strong, it will waste away. But not just the muscle, the fast twitch muscles are the ones that stop us from falling, the ones that allow us to kick high, jump as high as we can, kick really hard with the bag, punch really hard, sprint, do high intense activity. They're fast twitch muscle fibers. So if you don't kick and punch and jump and lift heavy, those fast twitch muscle fibers waste away. Now, this is a really funny story, and it would have looked hilarious. I always think this when something happens to me, because I spend a lot of time on my own, when something happens to me, I always wish that it was caught on camera because it would make people laugh. I've just taken an enormous tumble. I had socks on my tile floor, and they were new socks and really slippery. And I ran in to get the phone, and I did it literally from standing to fall. So I fell on my hip, I fell on my knee, I fell on my shoulder. Now it hurt, but I got straight back up again. Like I bounced back up again. And I'm an old lady. Most people that are my age, if they fell like that, they'd have a broken hip, perhaps a broken knee, perhaps a broken ankle, or worse. And I just got up and laughed. Now I have a big bruise on my hip and a big fun experience to share with you. But if I don't have fast twitch muscle fibers that work, I wouldn't be able to do that. I wouldn't be able to get back up again. I wouldn't be able to punch the bag. I wouldn't be able to sprint. And there's 2 parts of my life that are sprinting. I sprint on my treadmill. I do hill sprints with my dogs. But when I'm in the garden, I'm an elite athlete. So I pick and rake and lift and carry in 10-second phosphate bursts, which is high intense activity, which uses your fast twitch muscle fibers. If you don't sprint, your fast twitch muscle fibers waste away. If you don't lift heavy, your fast twitch muscle fibers waste away. If you don't do those things, you will waste away as a human being. That just sounds gross to me. I'm an old lady and I do not want to be physically or mentally old. I want to be able to do all the things that I want to do, which is not just exercise, punch the bag, run on the treadmill, hill sprints with my dogs, lift heavy weights. But I want to be able to live my life to the max. I want to be able to hike all day. I want to be able to take my dogs for big long tracks around and sometimes we go for 2 or 3 hours and the dogs can do it. I want to be able to do it with them. I'm sharing that with you because I sadly listen to too many people talk about how old they are, how weak they are, how fat they are, how diseased they are. And isn't it interesting that people are happy to share that? But my question is always, what are you doing about it? You don't have to be old. Chronologically old, we've got no control over. But there are plenty of people who are 50, 60, 70, 80, 100 plus who still lift heavy things, who still dance, who still play their sport, who still sprint. You don't have to be physically old. You don't have to be mentally old. You just have to maintain your muscle. Your muscles, when they're put under overload, send a message via the endocrine system back to the brain to say, this woman's just kicked hard, she's just punched hard, she's just lifted heavy. For next time we have to be better. So that myokine message from the muscle back to the brain is the one that gets us stronger and fitter. But if you don't overload it, if you don't push it, if you don't lift heavy, if you don't sprint, if you don't kick, if you don't jump, it doesn't work. So the really interesting thing is, well, maybe I'm just going to do light exercise or light weights, or just today I'm going to take it easy. Well, if I'm a race car, I'm not going to take it easy. If I'm a high performance machine, I'm going to work at my high performance best. So I'm not going to take my big muscles out, and I'm not going to go slowly. And as I always share, I think that low intense activity, walking, slow stuff. Now, it's nice to go for a walk, but how could we possibly call that exercise? We're not overloading anything. We're not getting puffed. We're not lifting heavy. We're just lifting our own body weight. And if you can't walk for a long period of time with your own body weight, obviously your muscles have wasted away, and particularly your fast twitch muscle fibers. Because now, if you go for a walk and your muscles are tired from walking, that means your slow twitch muscle fibers are wasting away as well. And that's the thing that makes us old. And it's also the thing that makes us fat. Because when you've got when you lose muscle, you've got a slow metabolism. So if you've got a large amount of muscle, your body burns up a large amount of calories. If you get old and allow those muscles to waste away, your body's requirement for energy becomes less and less. It takes a lot more fuel to run a V12 engine than it does to run a two-cylinder, two-stroke lawnmower engine. And most people that are my age have two strokes. They don't need very much energy to move around, and they don't have any high performance left in them. A lawnmower, two-stroke lawnmower, doesn't perform very well, and it certainly wouldn't win a Formula One car race. I love the analogy because we get a little bit caught up in what we should do as we get older. And I always ask this question: do we get old because we stop doing those fast twitch muscle fiber activities? Or those fast twitch muscle fiber activities, are they the ones that keep us young? So how about don't stop doing anything? Keep sprinting, keep lifting heavy. I'm constantly checking, am I getting stronger? Am I getting fitter? So two quick things there. You know you're getting stronger if you can lift heavier, and you know you're getting fitter if you can go really hard at 100% effort and you recover really quickly, or you've got a low resting heart rate. So if you've got a resting heart rate of 45, 50, 55, and you're as old as I am, that's a really good sign that you're really fit. If you can lift your body weight plus more and you're my age, that's a really good sign that you're strong. But I want to keep getting stronger. And who cares about what Rowie does? But I'm an old lady who doesn't make excuses. I would never make an excuse, I'm fat because I'm old, or I'm weak because I'm old, or I'm diseased because I'm old. No, we get weak and fat and diseased because our fast twitch muscle fibers waste away, which means we can't sprint anymore, and we can't jump high, and we can't kick, and we can't lift, and that's the fast twitch muscle fibers. So if you don't want to fall over, or if you fall over and you want to get back up quickly, or you want to stop yourself from falling over, if you want to be able to jump high and sprint, you have to do everything at 100% effort. But isn't that a stupid thing to say? Why would we do anything at less than 100% effort? And I'll share again, I think that this thing about doing long, slow, boring exercise, I think it makes us fat. Because we're not overloading our body, but we think we're doing a lot of activity because of the time frame that we've been. It's not how long you exercise for, it's how hard and how intense. So you go for a walk for an hour, you feel like you've done a lot of exercise, but you haven't. You haven't overloaded your muscles and bones, you haven't overloaded your central nervous system or your endocrine system. There's nothing going on there that's out of the ordinary. But we get back from our walk and go, well, I've walked for an hour, so I must be able to have an extra glass of wine, and of course you can. I'll have an extra bit of dinner, and of course you can. I'll have an extra dessert, and of course you can. But those extra things will now end up on your ass as fat, adipose tissue it's called, the stuff that, or subcutaneous fat, the stuff that sits between your muscle and your skin. I don't want extra fat. How about you? So how about we stay fit, stay strong, stay healthy, and stay young, and live our life to the max as a fit, strong, healthy person? Wouldn't that be good? Woohoo!